Assalamu alaikum, this is Areeba Saleem and you are watching and listening Riphah FM 102.2 Riphah International University campus radio station, and the program is The World of Shakespeare. In this program we talk about Shakespeare, his life, his journey and his literary contribution. As we know that William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, actor, and also he was widely regarded as the greatest writer of English literature. And if we talk about his birthplace, then he was born in Stratford upon Avon. And if we talk about his writing, that he wrote almost 39 plays, 154 sonnet, and 2 long narrative poems. And also, if we talk about some genres of his writing, so he wrote like the plays like Hamlet, Macbeth, and the comedies like Twelfth Night and Midnight Summer. So he has the variety in his writing, and it is important to discuss his writing in this era because his writing deals with the universal themes like the ambition, the theme of love and power, the struggle for power, jealousy. These themes are relevant in this era as well, and that is also the beauty of fiction. Through fiction we can learn many things, we can live many lives. We have only one life physically, but if we read fiction we can navigate through to the certain feelings, we can learn about other emotions, we can learn empathy. So it is really important to read fiction, and that is also the purpose of this program, to equip you with the knowledge of literature so that you may get interested in reading literature and read Shakespeare as well. So let's start this program, and we have to continue discussion we have left in the previous episode. And as usual I have Naqiya Zainab with me. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this episode as well.
Walaikum assalam, how are you?
I am good, and let's start the discussion. We have left the discussion as a theme of love, so let's talk about the theme of betrayal. I think this is also one of the most important theme of this play.
Of course, talking about Othello, when it comes to love, what jealousy did was jealousy spiked from the idea that there was betrayal in that love. So trust and betrayal are basically features of every relationship ever, right? Even if it's friendship, even if it's like relationship with your friends, your colleagues, you have that relationship of trust between you, and if that trust is betrayed, of course it really affects you in a negative way. Iago is a trusted officer and like an advisor and a friend, and his position as that trusted person for so many people is basically the driving force of how he manages to manipulate so many people around him. And this trust allows him basically the opportunity, right? So this, even Othello trusts Iago with the important correspondence without ever questioning his intention. I'm saying his name wrong, aren't I? Rodrigo. That's
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I was waiting for you to come to my rescue. Thank you, Areeba. Okay. So he confides Iago about his feelings for Desdemona. Even Desdemona herself goes to him when Othello seems to be acting strangely. Yeah, so we see these different characters, right? In trusting Iago as this trusting person. But we see when that trust, because Iago literally betrays all the trust every person
and
placed in
one
him.
important point, he is able to win everybody's trust.
Exactly.
This is, I think, interesting, and it is dangerous to think like how can someone win that trust and how he breaks it. So I think this is like worth thinking, like how can someone appears so good to you, so kind to you, and so honest to you, and in the end he breaks your trust. So I think this is sad and worth thinking, like
Of course.
someone break your trust in this way. Okay, let's talk about the theme of honor. And if we talk about the honor, then honor is the driving force in the life of man of Othello, and the honor is also the main theme of this play. So what do you think, like Naqiya, how this play demonstrate the theme of honor, and how honor represented in this play, and how it deals with emotions?
Of course, when we talk about honor, we see that firstly, Iago appeals to Desdemona's father to basically say implant that idea that your daughter marrying, eloping without your permission is kind of dishonoring your reputation, and trying to spark an outrage in him. Luckily for Othello, that Othello's his position in military, his love for Desdemona actually was a reason why her father was kind of inclined, or he accepted the marriage. We also see that he took this outrage to basically spark this kind of dishonoring of trying to have Rodrigo have this feeling of dishonorment, because it made him feel insecure about him. It made him feel less, that why me as a white skinned person got chosen, didn't get chosen, and someone with a dark skin got chosen over me. He felt dishonored as well. So because he was wealthy as well, so he had status and he had that kind of thing going on for him. But when Desdemona rejected him, that Iago really tried to manipulate that situation with basically honor, right? So these are really themes of, I think, which went on. And also Cassio, am I saying it right? I don't know why I messed up the character's name.
This is, I think, the correct pronunciation. It's Cassio.
Cassio. So when he was actually demoted, he wasn't worried about his rank being ripped away from him. He was worried about that
his reputation, his honor.
Exactly. So that, I guess, is kind of really what baffles me, because one would be really sad about a position being ripped away from him, but no, that was not the case. And even when we talk about Othello was worried about his honor being, played with when there was a rumor about Desdemona and Cassio, because he thought that, okay, that would be such a bad thing to his reputation. So even at the end, we see he basically commits suicide, because that rumor, that kind of thing was really affecting to him and his honor.
And also apart from this play, I think it is not right to put the weight of honor on someone's shoulder, because I think one can't handle this pressure. It really breaks someone, heart to carry the weight of honor on his shoulder. And also, this also it leads to the downfall of the characters. And also in the real life, it also leads to our downfall as well sometimes.
Iago said a line I really liked. It was basically, reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. So basically, I really like the concept, because sometimes you get the honor without basically trying to achieve anything for it, just like Cassio in here. He gets the position without having done anything to receive it, deserve it, but he lost it in a way that he did not deserve to lose it that way, even though he wasn't worthy in a sense, because he didn't have many military experience prior. But still, I guess this theme of having something and then losing it, this honor sometimes plays that in well, especially in Othello, we see this theme as well.
Okay, let's move to some motives of this play, and one of the motives is darkness and light. It is also, the binary presented in this play, and the darkness and the light, and the negative characters like Iago are represented through the darkness, and Iago often hides in darkness to prevent people from knowing his identity. We have discussed in the previous episode about Iago that he says that I don't know but I am. So also this this solidifies that point, that the darkness is also helps to hide his identity.
Of course. And also we see that whenever he has manipulated a situation and it's playing out exactly what he wanted, as he wanted, he's always lurking in the shadows. He's always like trying to hide in the shadows. Even when basically he sparks a fight between Cassio and Rodrigo, what he does, he's behind the scenes in like the shadows trying to conceal himself, even though when he was basically the manipulator of the whole situation.
And also, Othello enters Desdemona bedchamber by the light of a candle and used the light as a metaphor for her life, which he plans to snuff out as he would a candle. So I think the colors are used by Shakespeare very wisely, and also it contributes to the theme of the play, the darkness and the light. And also the, another important thing is the Desdemona and Othello opposing skin colors. They are also used, in the play. Okay, then we move to the other motif of the play, that is animals and the devil. So these imageries are also used, very strategically by Shakespeare. What do you think, Naqiya, how these imageries are used, of animals especially?
Okay, basically animals or demons are come into play as something like negative and just shown to have negative associations with it. When Desdemona and Othello get married, Iago basically goes to Barbiccio, and he says that these two are making they are making the beast with two backs, and he calls Othello an old man, old black ram. So they are quite themes and beast references that are connotations of it being like a virus or something kind of thing, you know. And if the readers really carefully go through these moments, it's really amazing to see how these references are used within, like goats and monkeys and just devils and all these kind of themes between it.
And also, the Emilia find out Lego has used her, and she declared in the final scene that she will play the swan.
Yeah. Also, when Queso gets drunk, and through Iago's encouragement, he declares by and by a fool, and presently a beast. That I'm a by a fool, but now presently after being drunk, I'm a beast. So we see, even if in light-hearted moments, but it is used as a negative connotation.
And also the strategic use of, animal imagery. This is interesting. Okay, let's move to the symbols of this play, and one of the most important symbol, and also, the driving force of, the play, that is the handkerchief. The Desdemona handkerchief given to her as a gift from Othello is the potent symbol of love and trust. So I think the handkerchief in general is a symbol of, I think, love and, the possession, the secret thing.
Of course, because the handkerchief does play a very important role and has a very special connection to Othello as well, because it was given to his mother, and it's just a very symbolic thing about
Yes.
Fidelity and just being loyal to one's husband and everything, right?
I think it is a symbolic to the, the Othello's feeling and trust for
Exactly.
Desdemona.
Because of course, something that important being given from your father to your mother, he passes down to like have this cute little tradition going on to Desdemona as well. But that is why we see Iago has a good reason to use the handkerchief for his own basically purposes, his own negative purposes, and how he controls that symbolism and how much it meant for Othello, and use it against it when Desdemona actually accidentally
Lost it. Yes.
loses it.
And so Othello is completely undone by the loss of handkerchief, and because it represents the loss of Desdemona, he crumbles into incoherent shout of the handkerchief as he is overwhelmed by the Iago's lies. So, Iago was also, like conspiring and using this handkerchief already. So that's, I think, added fuel to the fire. This in this situation. Okay, let's move to the another symbol, which is a willow tree. As Desdemona and Emilia prepare for bed, Desdemona share a song of willow. I think the song of willow is very symbolic here, and it is used by Shakespeare in the Hamlet as well. So I think the willow tree or the song of willow is, the strategic use of Shakespeare in this play.
Basically, it's often associated when there's a mention of a willow tree. It's often associated with the death of a woman,
Death or sadness or
exactly.
mourning.
Yeah, exactly. When you were talking about Hamlet, Ophelia, when she drowns near a willow tree, and after being abandoned by Hamlet, and of course, the willow tree here is also the symbol for Desdemona's sadness and how she's feeling sorrow and this sadness over, and it's basically also a foreshadowing here of her own death.
Of her own death. Okay, let's move to another important thing, which is the color green. Iago tells Othello to beware of the jealousy, and I think the jealousy is symbolized through the green color.
Of course. Even now, I guess jealousy is envy symbolize more of
And
in
I
the
think
green.
the color of poison is also, green.
Yeah,
If we look back to the old plays, the poison is always in green color. So I think that it symbolizes, the jealousy, or the poisonous nature of humans.
the
Of course.
green-eyed monster with doth mock the meat it feeds on.
Hmm.
So the green singer color really symbolizes jealousy.
Jealousy.
We are not jealous of each other. I really like her. But yeah, we see this recurring theme.
To represent this symbol, the green color. I
Yeah,
am wearing green. Okay, our bodies are our garden, to which our wills are the gardener. So I think this is, I think, the very beautiful quote, that our bodies are our garden, and we have to look
after.
after our gardens.
Yeah, of course.
As you sow, so shall you reap.
Yes.
Right?
So yeah, I guess the theme of jealousy really connects it whole. When we talk about honor, we talked about betrayal, we talked about love and trust and all these kind of things. So the downfall for Othello was his jealousy, was this basically a drive towards mistrust that he felt towards Desdemona. And even though we see women being trying to have this freedom and sense of freedom through the choice of their marriage and just these kind of things, what happen is this, their downfall comes towards through some kind of men having issues of
and
jealousy.
and also, this is the beauty of fiction. Fiction teaches us empathy.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't know how to react if our friend is progressing, if he's leading her life very well, or if she is getting successful, then how to behave, how to react. So I think the beauty of literature, it teaches us empathy. It tells us, how to deal with these emotions. I think it is very natural to feel jealous sometimes, somehow we
of
can say.
course.
These emotions are the part and parcel of human mind. But I think, we have discussed in the previous episode, the tragic flaw. We have to, escape the tragic flaw. We can't make these weaknesses, as the source of destruction for others' life.
Of course, when you talk about human nature, the human nature deals with all the dual emotions, right? When we deal with love, we deal with betrayal, we deal with trust, we deal with mistrust, and all these kind of things. So they all go hand in hand. And we may have been jealous over some friend. We may be have jealous over some petty thing in our life,
Yes.
someone having something better, I don't know,
Better than us,
yeah,
then we get jealous.
exactly, we get jealous or something. But the point is how to navigate those emotions in not a negative aspect.
And also, one thing I want to say to the audience, that this is the age of the gadgets, the media, and we are flooded with the emotions. So in this age, I think we are living in the era of chaos. We don't know how to deal with our emotions. We know how to operate the gadget. We know how to use a certain software and all these things, but we don't know how to live our life, basically.
What I think is really been affecting me recently is how fast we are going through emotional changes. Because even if when we are scrolling just Instagram, right, one reel is about such a sad thing, the other is basically a meme, and you're
Yes.
laughing one moment and then you're like, oh, that's sad, and then something is like the next. So yeah, you see the shift of emotions is so quick that you don't get time to process one
Process.
emotion
Yes.
clearly and all that. And I guess that leads to building up your emotions and stuff. So I guess fiction really helps you navigate those feelings and those emotions that
Yeah.
are building up in you.
Yes, I think it gives us the feeling of relief and catharsis sometimes. And also, as you are talking about that, we when we watch reels and the short content, so I think we feel a lot of emotion at the same time. And also, we don't know how to process these emotions. So I think this is the beauty of fiction, that it teaches us the essential skills, how to navigate life when the life is not going so well. The tragedy and suffering is also part and parcel of life. We have to suffer. If we are living, we have to suffer, and we have to witness others' success, or the good things about others. So yeah, that's the beauty of fiction, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and you must have known about something, the jealousy and how to deal with jealousy, and also about this play, this particular play, Othello. So let's end this literary discussion here. Thank you so much, Naqiya, for your contribution.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for the next literary discussion. This is your host Areeba Saleem, and we will meet in another episode of the World of Shakespeare. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.